How's it going, everybody? Starwin here with another speedrun submission. Today, I'll be doing Silent Hill Homecoming 80% New Game Plus. Homecoming has always been the oddball when it comes to Silent Hill speedruns. While it's not the most popular game casually, it definitely is the best speed game in the series. Mainly because we use wall clips to skip large sections of the game. And for a while now, it's been pretty much the same. This really has never been new tech discovered. Until recently, we've had a lot of new people come into the community, and we actually have figured out a new type of clipping, which allows us to do things that we thought were impossible before. So now, this run used to be, you know, like a 35-minute marathon run, but now it's about 30 minutes long. And all around, all the categories have had, like, significant time cuts in over the past month. So I'm here to show off all of that craziness to you right now. So let's go ahead and jump right in. We'll go ahead and put ER Alex on. All this COVID-19 stuff. If we're going to go outside in Silent Hill, we might as well be wearing the proper PPE. Sadly, first things first, we do have a skippable cutscene, which is a commonplace in this game. The good thing is, majority of the unskippable cutscenes are in the first 5 minutes of the game.
Oh God! Oh God!
Ooh, what's happening there? Oh God! Don't go in there.
What are they doing? What's going on there? Hey, where are you taking me? No! Hey! No!
Whoa! Too much spooky going on.
Where am I? Hey, what is this place? Hey, where are you taking me? No! Where am I, man?
Alrighty.
Hey, wait.
Time will start when we get to the first QTE. Honestly, in a marathon setting, if this was like at a live marathon, we could probably just start. I would probably start that cutscene so people don't actually have to watch it. It's not really a big deal. No one's here for story. We're trying to go fast. We're not trying to listen to the story. Alrighty. As that man is being cleaved in the background, let's get this started. In 3, 2, 1, and go. So this is Alex Shepard. This is our protagonist for the next, 20 or so minutes. Alex, part of the Shepard family. One of the founding families of Shepherd's Glen. As you can see, the name is in... The name of the town is his last name. Right here we have a little keypad. These first-person perspective puzzles drop a lot of input, so it's really, really important to not go as fast as you can, because if you do, you're going to drop so many inputs, it's not even funny.
Josh, stop!
Good thing is that code never changes. This isn't like RE3, where we have like 800 codes that we have to memorize just in case. This game is very simple. So, this is a Western-developed Silent Hill. You're going to see a lot of the Western influence be put into the game. For example, we have the peeling of textures and the transition to the nightmare world. This is something that they pretty much directly took from the movies. And another thing they took from the movies is the nurse, the over-sexualized nurse. Play Silent Hill 1 and Silent Hill 2, you do not see nurses like that. That was all a Western thing. Alright, so this whole area, the first, like I said, about the first 6 minutes of the run, we're not going to see any of the huge glitches that I'm talking about, like the wall clips. Because in order to wall clip in this game, we need a pistol. And we won't be getting a pistol until we get to about the 7-minute mark in the run. This is 80% New Game Plus, so when it comes to the category, we can use New Game Plus weapons, is primarily what that means. And we'll be picking up the laser pistol. Laser pistol, pretty much one-hitter quitters everything in the game. Bosses may take like 2 to 3 shots, but that's about it. But it allows us to clip a lot sooner. Here we have another enemy introduction. This is the Swarm. So, we're actually coming up to a newer bit of tech. I'm actually going to just intentionally get one of these bugs to fly on me so we can show this off. Usually, used to having no bugs on you was optimal, but since this thing was found out, we found out that if you hit A, which is the action button, and roll, it'll actually skip the little cutscene of Alex like climbing down to the lower level. So if you get bugless, you lose about 3 seconds. If you get 1 bug on you, you save probably the most amount of time. 2, if you have 2 bugs on you, you actually won't roll. Because B, the button that we also put, the button that we push to skip that cutscene is actually the dodge button. When you have 1 bug on you, and it'll actually make you roll. When you have 2, you actually just fall to the floor.
Joshua, is that you?
So this entire time we've been trying to chase our little brother Josh, who's kind of a jerk. He's being a little brat. He won't let us into this gate until we find his toy. And this is actually another unique thing that was added into the series, and that is these dialogue choices. You're not really seeing them come on screen because I'm actually just mashing the button I'm supposed to be pressing. Essentially, you get 2 choices. One is a nice response. The other one's like a mad or angry response. So, for the most part, they don't really matter. The ones I'm picking are just the ones that have the least amount of dialogue. In a casual perspective, those really don't do anything. There's only a handful in the game that'll change what ending you actually get. And once again, Silent Hill's fascinations of people sticking their hands in spooky holes in walls. And we got our precious Robbie for Josh. We're gonna have 1 more Swarm on us. We're just gonna let him suck a little bit of our health, because once we trigger this cutscene, that Swarm is actually just going to explode. And that's Alchemilla. That's the first part. And we have another unskippable cutscene right here. I'm actually going to grab some water. I need to hydrate. Stay hydrated, gamers. Ugh. There we go. So right here, I guess story-wise, Alex is just, again, he's still just chasing Josh, and he's going down this elevator. This elevator is actually a very iconic location in the series. You see it in Silent Hill 1, you see it in Silent Hill Origins. A lot of iconic characters are in this game that shouldn't be in here. One of them is Pyramid Head, who's, about to make his appearance in a manner of speaking. Just take a knife to the face. Good thing it was all a dream, though.
Bad dream.
And shout-outs to Travis Grady, our truck driver, right there. He was the protagonist of Silent Hill Origins, the game that didn't need to happen. I mean, honestly, a lot of people probably agree. A lot of the Western games didn't need to happen, but in my opinion, a lot of the Western games are good in their own right. Except for Downpour. Silent Hill Downpour is a is a game, I guess, if you want to call it that. Alrighty, so should be no more unskippable cutscenes until like the very end of the game. And we actually are not in Silent Hill. It may look like it, the fog's everywhere, distorting our vision, but we actually are in Shepherd's Glen. As I mentioned earlier, Shepherd's Glen is a town across the lake, across like Toluca Lake, from Silent Hill. This town was founded by 4 families, and they actually used to be part of the cult of Silent Hill, but they wanted to leave the cult. And the order was like, well, we'll let you leave, but you gotta sacrifice your firstborn child every 100 years. So that's what happened. But the whole story is the whole story essentially is about that ritual messing up, and everything just kind of going incredibly bad. Alright, so now we're gonna get to the fun part of the run, and that is clipping. Little rundown on clipping. When I aim, you're gonna see that I move forward. Essentially, we're going to use that forward momentum that we get from aiming back and forth to put ourselves into walls. This clip specifically, the attic clip, is one of the more notorious hard ones, but we got that really quick. Very, very good. Quick enough to where that was a big green on my end. Wouldn't it be something to world record / PB during a marathon submission? That'd be pretty cool, right? Alright, so doing that clip right there, we actually just skipped 60% of the game. We skipped about 2 boss fights and 3 dungeons. So, what's really crazy is the game doesn't crash. It's one of the biggest surprises about this run, is how stable this game can actually be. And then right here, instead of going backwards and going through that load door, we're just going to clip right here and fall through the floor, and this is going to put us right back out here. That just skips having to look at that load door sequence. And now we're in the Nightmare Shepherd house. This is actually the last dungeon before you actually go to Silent Hill. But for us, it's going to be, I guess, technically the second one. So this area has a bunch of puzzles. 4 puzzles to be exact. We got to solve all 4 of them in order to leave this place. Right here, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do the new method of clipping, which is called the shotgun quick switch. Essentially, we aim with the shotgun, and then quick switch to the pistol. This allows us to go through doors, gates, and some walls a lot quicker than the traditional strafing back and forth method. So me doing that clip right there allowed me to skip... Oops, keep taking off the mask. That allowed me to skip, like, going downstairs. Kind of make your own way, make your own pathway. So right here, I'll show you another example of the shotgun quick switch clipping. Just like that, we just go through the door. Easy peasy. Used to, if we were doing that the strafe method that I did on the very first clip that you saw, that wouldn't work. For some reason, this method, this newer method, just works for like doors and gates. And then, like I said, sometimes the certain walls. What's crazy is going through that door actually skips having to fight an enemy. It would have spawned this enemy called a schism, and usually you want to kill it, but since we actually got that clip really quick, we're gonna save a little bit of time. Now we're back up in the attic. Attic looks a little bit different. Bunch of pipes and gears, winding pathways. That's a schism on the ground. He's playing dead right now. Once we grab this last medal and solve the puzzle, the game wants you to backtrack to make you fight all those enemies. Again, we are not going to do that. We do not have time to fight all these enemies. That's 2 puzzles down. And right here, we're going to do a little quick switch method, and we're just going to... Well, push me out. It's all good. Alright, give me a little resistance. Let's do it over here. Usually it doesn't give me much resistance when I do it right there. Alright. And then we just fall through the floor, and now we're back on the stairs. Alrighty, now we go back up. This is probably one of the easier puzzles in the game. If you play this game casually, you're going to notice a lot of the clocks in the game are stuck at 206. 206 is a very important number in this game. We're talking to the point where, like, in the intro cutscene, it specifically showed the number 206. All the clocks are stopped at 206. There's a safe code earlier in the game that needs the 206 code in order to open it. You use that number a lot in this game. Alright, now we just got one more area to go to. And that'll be the basement. There's going to be a couple of clips that we're going to do here that I'll go ahead and show off. One of these is actually kind of new. First things first, instead of going through the basement door that we just opened, we're actually going to clip through the wall right here. Doing this skips an enemy from spawning and us having to, like, squeeze through, like, a tight crevice and then duck under something. Alright. And throughout this dungeon, I've been collecting knives for this puzzle. When I say puzzle, man, I don't really mean puzzles. This one is literally match the shapes. It's not hard. None of the puzzles in this game are hard. Alrighty. And then right here, this is a newer clip that was found out by one of our new runners, Schmumbler. Instead of backtracking and squeezing through and slipping under and having to deal with an enemy, we're just going to slip right through the wall. Cool. 13, anything below a 13 or below a 14 is really, really good. Yet another unskippable cutscene. This one's really short, though. What's really sad is this is the one cutscene where, as you can see, Alex is back into his classic costume. The game doesn't like to render the costumes in this cutscene. So now we're heading to Silent Hill for realsies this time. Man, Alex knows how to change costumes real quick. What's crazy, since we found all these new clips, you really don't see any of the supporting cast in this run. Like, right now, there should be right now, in the story, our friend Elle got captured. We were riding on a boat crossing the lake, and we got, essentially boat hijacked by the Order. Wheeler got captured. Wheeler's the sheriff of the town, and we're actually going to be hearing his voice a lot right here, but you never see him. Only time you're ever going to see the supporting cast is if I actually pick the ending where we get to see that.
Alex, are you there?
There's like one, I guess technically you see Josh and Judge Holloway, and that's it. I'm not going to count Travis, because Travis, like, isn't part of the main story. He's just kind of like an Easter egg. So this is Silent Hill. It doesn't look or resemble anything of what Silent Hill has been in previous games. You're only in one small section of the town, and you're only outside for like a very short time. Even when you're doing this casually, you do not get to explore the city like you got to in like the previous games. Which is honestly a big disappointment when you play this casually. Alright, so we're going to clip through this wall right here. This is going to skip having to fight a bunch of Order soldiers and turning off electricity defenses. And just going through walls is just so much easier. Walls are, like we say in the community, are merely a suggestion. Alright, so this area right here is the prison. This is one of the areas that got completely broken open with this new clip method. Used to, we'd have to, like, find Wheeler and save him, but now we're just going to completely ignore saving him. Just like that, we can clip through that gate. Couldn't do that before. And instead of going to save Wheeler, we're actually just going to go to the area that Wheeler should open after you save him. We're just going to clip through. Oh, do not want to go up in the air. That is not good. Just gotta slow it down a little bit. There we go. So this area is called the Blind Prison. You can guess why we call it that. So everything is still here. Walls are still here. It's just that we can't see them. So right here, there's a gate in front of me. And I'm doing the pistol quick switch method to actually clip through the wall and get to a different area. Just like that. Probably not going to be able to see it, but trust me, we are going the right way and doing everything we need to do. And then right here, there's a fence we're trying to get through. And bloop, we are in. We actually are on top of the end. We're actually at the end area already of the prison. We're on top of this tunnel, and we're trying to get to this certain spot where we can do a cutscene trigger. And it looks like we missed it. This is a difficult strategy. And it's definitely one of the bigger run killers. Because we're trying to get to a certain spot. There's also a chance that I can actually render the area just like that, which is just fine. Now you can kind of see where I'm at. Oh. Come on, Alex. Okay, if you don't want to trigger the cutscene, that's fine. I'll just go on this side. We'll trigger it this way. Right here, there's a spot with your mom that you're supposed to either, like, save her from torture or not. When you do that method, it doesn't load Alex's mom. So you just see a bunch of nothing the whole time. Alright, so now we're in the Nightmare Prison. The Nightmare Prison, not hard. We have this one puzzle right here, which I guess you could consider one of the more fun puzzles in the game. But honestly, they just tell you 3 riddles, and these are old riddles. We're talking like, you probably heard them in 1st grade. Like one of them was like that old riddle. It's like the poor have it and the rich don't need it.
God, where the hell are
And it ends up being nothing.
But we have to keep moving.
It's riddles like that. So yeah, Wheeler's actually behind us, but if we play this right, we're actually never going to see him. Right here we got a couple of more enemies. These are Needlers, aka Edward Scissorlegs. Wheeler's just going to shoot them. But you can see, we cannot see Wheeler still. I promise you, he's right behind us. You'll see it. I think he'll pop up in a cutscene right here. But only for a brief moment. Now, we're actually coming up to our very first boss. If you were playing this casually, this would be the 3rd boss in the game. This is Asphyxia. And she gave us a good pattern. And she ruined everything. And we're just going to dodge that. Boop. There we go. Laser pistol just destroys everything in this game. It's absolutely ridiculous. Again, it's not about the fighting of things and the bosses. It's about the clipping. It's what makes this run so interesting. Also, fun little trivia. A lot of people like to make the reference to the Human Centipede. I know, awful movie. It's a ridiculous movie, and honestly, no one should ever watch it. But this game actually predates the Human Centipede by a couple of months, so who took the idea from who? Alright, now we're at the church. This area used to be the run killer. All the clips that we are about to do are so easy compared to what we had to do before. Church 3, the 3rd clip in here, was notoriously the run killer. It was super RNG based if you were actually going to get the clip to work or not, but now, oh man, it's so easy. So right there, we actually clip on top of that bench. The cutscene trigger is sticking out of the wall, so we're able to actually hit the cutscene trigger and it actually puts us in the area that we need to be. Right here, you would have to cut open these paintings in order to open up this gate, but guess what? I don't have time for that. We're just going to clip to the gate. And here comes Church 3. This was the worst clip in the game, but with this new method and a bunch of tech from all of our good speed friends in the community, we are actually able to get to the church like it's nothing now. I'm telling you, go watch old runs of this. It's ridiculous what we had to do before. The worst clip in the game was the attic clip that you saw at the beginning. That is the worst thing about this run. And honestly, after that, it's probably doing the prison blind. After that, the run is pretty simple. And what's really great is this game used to intimidate a lot of people. This, if you ran Homecoming, people were like, oh man, I don't understand how you do that, man. Clipping through walls, it just looks so difficult. And it was. It was a very difficult thing. With this new clipping method, though, you're literally pressing 2 buttons, and 9 times out of 10, you're going to get the clip that you want. And it just makes the game more accessible, which is awesome for anybody that wants to learn a Silent Hill game. Alright, avert your eyes if you're squeamish. Alex is, picked the wrong dentist. Apparently, the dentist does not know where the mouth is. Oh, okay, there she goes. She's trying. But since Alex is in his doctor outfit, he wants to show her how to properly clean someone's teeth. There we go. There's the best line in the game. Alright, so we're in the final dungeon. This is the lair, or the underground, whatever you would like to call it. We had all of our weapons taken away, so the only thing we have is the ceremonial dagger. And conveniently enough, they left us a pistol over here, so this is going to allow us to do some clipping. First things first, though, we do need to get rid of these gentlemen right here with a few headshots. Got 9 bullets. I want 9 headshots. That's 8. We have one more guy to fight, so we have to hit him in the head, and we also have to kill him with a knife. Use that key long distance, because it's neat. And that was 9 headshots. Very nice. Now right here, this is a newer clipping method. It's called knife clipping. So we're going to hold up the knife, and then switch to the pistol. You should get a clip right here. Very good. And this is also a new clip as well. Hopefully we get it first try. And we did. That was super clean. Gonna get all of our items back. Then we're gonna do a shotgun quick switch clip right here. And then we're going to clip through this door, and it's gonna trigger a cutscene. We just skipped so much right now. And we just need to navigate this room blind. There is a door somewhere. Where is the door? Can't find the door. I messed up my movement. Oh, there it is. There we go. And we are already in the final area. So this final clip was also a run killer. You'd be doing this run for so long and your run would just die to this. But guess what? This new clipping method just makes it super easy. You get to skip this puzzle and save about 1 minute and 30 seconds of time. It is ridiculous. And just like that, we're going to go to the final boss. This is Amnion. A big spooky spider. Thankfully killed with 4 shots of the pistol. And just like that, that is time. We were shooting for a 30-minute estimate, so that was perfect. And we lost 1 minute and 11 seconds. It just goes to show like there's a lot of room for error. 80% New Game Plus is very quick. It is the quickest category that we have to offer for this game. There are 2 other categories. The other one being 80% New Game, which is about 15 minutes or so longer than New Game Plus, mainly because we have to go and get the first pistol that the game gives you, which is about 16 to 17 minutes into the run. And then after that, you start doing clips. And then you pretty much do the same clips in any percent New Game after a certain point. But you do have to fight the bosses with regular weapons, which honestly isn't that difficult. And then there's All Bosses New Game Plus. All Bosses New Game Plus is like the mecca of what this game has to offer. So many clips. You get to see all the boss fights. There's multiple blind areas you have to navigate. It's just, that is an amazing run. And honestly, in my opinion, the best category in the game. So, Josh, I guess story-wise, was dead the whole time. Alex forgot that he accidentally killed his brother. He never went to war and got dishonorably discharged. He just went crazy. And the final boss is a spider, mainly because Josh, his little brother, had an obsession with spiders. Like, that's literally the reason. Alright, I'm going to ahead and pick the, what I think is the funniest ending in the game. And technically, it's the worst ending in the game that you can get. This is what happens when you are a bad person the whole game. Also, Pyramid Head does not belong in this game. Pyramid Head doesn't belong in the Silent Hill movie. Pyramid Head belongs to Silent Hill 2. But no, everyone just thought he was an icon, so now he's like the face of Silent Hill. And Alex wants to join the party, so he decided to become a Pyramid Head himself. Or a bogeyman, whatever you want to call it. Puts on a helmet and gets jacked beyond all belief in 5 seconds. It's unfair. Angry boy, my goodness. Alright, everybody. That was Silent Hill Homecoming 80% New Game Plus. I will have a couple of more submissions, updated submissions for this game down the line for 80% New Game and All Bosses New Game Plus. So look forward to those. Hope you guys consider this game for your marathon. And hope you enjoyed watching. Thanks again.